Okay. The great outdoors, excellent. Perfect. Well, welcome. Let's see, a couple things. First off, I guess thumbs up if you guys can hear me at home. All right, good. We got volume. We switched some sound and microphones up tonight as well. Yeah. Yeah, I heard the last recording and I was like, everybody was just following me. I was a blurry mime, I think. So we will go through what we covered last week as well. Center this guy a little bit more. Yeah, it should work. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it was Nancy emailed in, said she can't be here tonight. Something going on at home. We do have, it looks like new people joining us as well. Hello up there. How's it going? Glad you guys could make it. So if it was you that emailed, or I guess for everybody, I did email out. I just got the new roster from the studio, so I will email out last week's video along with some other YouTube videos I have there as well. We will use the screen to be able to kind of see you, and right now can't hear anything, but I will have, like, I'll pause and come up and see if anybody has questions that we can help with during that, and try to switch down to the little laptop camera as well. All right, so we will review quickly what we went through last week so that we can get our frame and our shape down. As a beginning swing class, last week we basically got some of the basic footwork down, and we got, Monday, not yesterday, but Monday this week, so 2 days ago, we got some of the basic footwork down, and we got our hands on our frame as well, all right? So our goals to find our frame, we're gonna put our fingertips together. Also, my name is Jesse, this is Alicia.
Hi.
With better audio and microphones, we can both talk and be here. So we're gonna put our fingertips together, bring that up on top of our head, perfect. And it's good to keep your whole body balanced. You can kind of see I'm standing up straight there. You want to avoid, I see kind of this, not from you guys, but going out, people will hunch over. So once you've got your hands up here, ooh, perfect, profile view. We're gonna bring that shape from the top of our head down to our belly button. Excellent. You'll see two key details here. Your wrist is lower than your elbow. Once you partner up, it's based on her belly button height. She is very tall and in heels, so it's pretty easy for me. But if she was a completely different height, I have to remember her belly button, not pulling her hands up to her eyes, which I've seen happen quite a bit as well. So based on her belly button, our wrists are lower than our elbows. And then the other thing is that our elbows, you'll see in the side view, are out here. If there was a little laser from one elbow to the other, that would come straight across in front of our rib cage. So what we want to avoid is either our wrists being too high and then we look like a T-Rex or a chipmunk, and we also don't want our elbows back too far. Basically, if we both danced this way, we'd be right here and you couldn't do any swing moves anymore. You'd run into each other. So we got down into this shape here. Now, our exercise, and a great one to try, it's like a trust building exercise at home anyways, which is good as we're all at home with each other. You just put the back of your hands together, and then our goal is to keep this shape the entire time as much as possible. So at no point do you see me push or pull with my arms. Instead, it's my entire body moving as we dance. So if I just come forward slowly, she'll back up however fast she needs to. And if I back up, she'll come forward however fast she needs to. And we're able to keep this nice motion here back and forth as well. So the next level up, if you remember, is once we've done that for a while and not run into anything, we look at each other and she'll look into my eyes and say, I trust you.
I trust you.
And then she'll close her eyes. Perfect, her eyes are closed. I hope yours are as well. And then as the lead, guys, for some reason, I always see guys in class close their eyes too. Guys, you're leading through a house filled with obstacles. It's not even a dance floor. So you have to have your eyes open so she can trust you. And then again, lead her a little bit, put a pause in, go the same direction so she can't guess. Back up. Aha, excellent. Good. So if we got that connection down, good. Paula, you guys have kind of a silhouette there, but we will check. It looks like it's going well.
Oh, there we go.
Another dog frame. Everybody has their dogs in swing class tonight. Perfect.
Oh, that's better. Yeah, that works. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah. It's just this one like that. All right. So from here, we learned a couple little things, just the basics, that idea. To put our hands together, we've got that pistol grip. So since I can walk up here pretty easily, there we go. That pistol grip idea of my hand straight along the back of my wrist here, so it's not bent in or like in or out, and it's nice and straight. My thumbs point up, and she puts her hands right over these 3 fingers here. So if she's got her hands right over here, that gives me good control because I've got straight backs of the arms here. And then when I am holding her hand, I want to make sure that I am pulling on the fingertips or pushing gently on the palm. What I want to avoid is clamping down on her fingertips and then just pushing on that. It's more like a karate hand lock as opposed to like good dancing. So pushing gently in the palm or pulling gently on the fingers, and that should move her whole body. So again, once we have our frame down, we're going to gently walk in and gently pull. And just like before, it's just a little bit of a change in pressure, but if I just stand here, no one should be going anywhere, right? So guys, if you're leading and you stop, ladies, you have to feel a nice solid pressure either on your palms or a pull on your fingers. Just because there's a slight pause doesn't mean you're switching directions and running forward at the other people. So as we pause, you can either push or pull, kind of get that. Excellent. Now, we also looked at a couple really basic pieces of turns. For that, I would bring her hand up so it's out just above her eye level, and then I have to come forward a little and help her, but I draw a circle around her entire head. All right? Yeah, good. Excellent. I see much more motion this time. Everybody's actually walking towards the woman and backing up a little bit. You do have to, like her hand and shape should be like, here we go, like right there out in front of her eyes if we're doing an above the ceiling view, like a bird's eye, and the entire time she turns, her hand is out there in front of her face. Yeah, at no point should your hand end up behind your head and then your elbow pop and make fun of your shoulder. All right. So we've got that. We did that both directions. So again, I can take the right hand, my right hand, her left hand up, and spin her in a circle. Right now, we're pulling on that. Good. Excellent. And we want to keep that hand as low as possible. She's got quite a bit of a bun up here, and she's tall, but my wrist is still going to just barely be not hitting her hair. I want to avoid pulling her hands straight up and just like dangling her there like one of those ballerina music boxes. Excellent. So same thing, I can do it with the left hand. I bring the left hand up and I just go the opposite direction with her. Good. Excellent. Now follows. As you're doing this, one thing you can start to practice, your hand should be out in front of your face the whole time. That's looking pretty good. But another thing you can practice is reducing the number of steps you're taking. So this is one where the foot cam will actually be helpful. But we can also, you can kind of see it in this, we've got a dark floor here. But the basic idea is that as I turn, what I want to get out of is the thing where you just take like 40 steps to get around, right? So the more and more, because most turns are only going to basically be 3 steps. So more and more you want to get used to like really reducing the number of steps. And a lot of times your turns, the steps will actually feel much slower than the turn itself. One of the things that happens right off the bat when you try to do turns to the tempo is people will finish the turn and then just like be done and have to sit there and wait. So get used to follows as you're being turned, taking a nice slow step, step, step as much as possible or as few steps as possible there. All right, so just one last time each direction, and then guys, we're gonna take our turn as well. Nice and low over her head, but not hitting her in the head with an elbow. We've turned both sides, good. All right, now guys, if you remember, if I'm pointing down, she is turning, but if I'm pointing up, I am turning. Now right now, since we're not really doing the full switching places footwork, excellent, yeah. As I come up, I want to, again, I'm only taking about 3 steps to get through that, but it's reducing the steps as much as possible. Right, left, right, and I'm finishing there. All right. Okay. Good, good. All right, so that's basically what we got last week. This week, we're gonna try to get a little bit more of the actual footwork for turns in, because that's an important thing. Oh, and let's review the basics as well, since the basics swing steps are a pretty important part of swing dancing logically. So our footwork for that, if you are on a computer and you can see the footwork, great. Otherwise, you can see the leg motion, and I'll get close to the wall so it's there. But, and we can actually come, yeah, next to me. Alicia will do the ladies' footwork. You'll see she starts with her right foot. And guys, we start with our left foot. We'll actually switch sides. But here, it's going to be that rock, step, side, side, rock, step, side, side, rock, step, side, side, rock, step, side, side. All right, a couple little details here if you remember. As much as possible, our steps should be toe, heel, toe, heel. Basically, we want to avoid just slamming our flat foot down or keeping stiff legs, right? So we've got a little bend in the knees, and we're stepping with the right foot, stepping with the left foot, stepping with the right foot, stepping with the left foot, all right? The other detail in there was that little bit of a tempo. I've seen other instructors teach beginning swing on a 1, 2, 3, 4 where everything is even, but to me that's shouldn't be allowed, because that's like, it's no longer swing. It's sort of the pattern, but it would be like doing any other dance on the completely wrong tempo. It doesn't make sense. So swing, what makes it swing is that tempo, and so it's quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. All right. So, and then side view, something we talked about as well, the side view. Guys do this a lot, where they'll be throwing their entire body backwards and forwards. You want to really just be reaching out with that leg, so you'll see in relation to, like, I don't know if this picture thing here or the window, my hips really aren't moving a ton. So I'm not moving my entire body in and out of that window frame there, but instead it's just this small lean back, side, side, rock, step, side, side, rock, step, side. Excellent. Good. Now with the hands, here's something we did not cover last week. Once you were holding hands like this, whoa, I'm really used to looking to the left, looking to the right over here is like a totally new motion on this camera. All right. So one thing that I didn't cover last week is kind of how our hands tie in here. When you start that rock step, there is a little bit of a push-pull. And so you should have that good frame. If, again, if her arms were just floppy, I can't possibly steer her anywhere. Every time I move, her arms just flop backwards. If I pull, yeah, like actively wiggling. It's like fighting spaghetti here, right? So we've got this good frame. The moment I push on her, I get some motion. Same thing, if she backs up a little bit, she'll feel my frame. I don't have floppy arms, because that's how I'm leading. If her eyes are closed, she can still follow. So if we're here, there's a little bit of push, pull, side, side, push, pull, side, side, push, pull, side, side, push, pull, side, side. Good. Aha. All right. This is good. I can see everybody's profile view at once. So on the push-pull, you'll see our arms here are moving less than all of your arms, because we've done this a few more times. But just so you have the comparison, what I'm seeing from everybody as you move is both people, right? Your arms are extending and then they're pulling. And I'm exaggerating right now, but that push-pull comes with very little arm motion, right? It's this tiny little pressure in my arms that moves us. I shouldn't have a giant push-pull like that. Push-pull, good, good. Excellent. All right, let's see here. All right, Shoshay, your arms are still stretching pretty far each time. So don't let them throw you back so far. Yeah, you've got a lot of the like snap out. That'll be bad for your elbows. And then Paula, your belly button is lower. I'm almost sure. Yeah. It's all right. I spend the entire normal dance class just pushing guys' hands down to belly buttons because they're always up at neck level. Perfect. Good, good. All right, I'm gonna switch sides. I'm really used to this side here. Yeah, I can turn my head further that way. I don't know what caused that. All right, so we've got our hands here. Excellent. Let me put on, I should be able to share system music here. This should also be an improvement this week.
Yo, mic check, mic check. Yeah, here you go.
Can you guys hear music?
He over here. Yeah, I heard he got that new thing.
I figured out how to share music directly. Much better this week. All right. Okay, so we will have this song as tempo practice while I grab a whiteboard as well.
5 to 5 a second. This a club, girl, while you arrive naked. Hear that? How the veteran glide the record. But don't download.
Rock step, side, rock step, side,
something sexy about her. Girl on the floor, all her friends around her. I mean, real clean, ain't gotta touch or nothing. It ain't like I like a chick on chick or something. I'm just a sucker for a hot track. And you're drinking a chick to tell stop that. Dance is a hop and a clap. Flip it round. Now bring it on back. Break it down. Now switch.
Okay, watch them for a second. I'm gonna double play.
Turn around now. Switch. Turn it over and get it. Ooh la la la. Switch. Turn it over and get it. Turn around now. Switch. I got a question. I need to ask somebody. Why is it that when y'all see me at the party, y'all be looking like we a movie star? You ain't supposed to be out on the floor with everybody, but oh wait, whoa, y'all forgetting when I was amateur spitting before the scripts were written. First one in, last one out the club, bursting in, passing out in the club. Back at it, this cat is the wit and the charm, taking you higher like a syringe hitting your arm, bringing the fire, making you bend, ring the alarm. Let me see you clap and spin, baby, come on. Turn it over and get it. Turn around now. Turn it over and get it. Ooh la la la. Switch. Turn it over and get it. Turn around now. Switch.
All right, very nice. Good. Yeah, that actually, that is excellent. Either people dance before or somehow people learn faster. Like you're all learning faster through video than the in-person classes. So I have no idea what's causing that, but I like it. All right, so I've got my nifty teaching whiteboard here. And what we're gonna cover is swing. Swing is a linear dance. So in studios, we have these giant tape lines that are pretty useful. But when you're dancing towards each other, imagine that you are on a straight line. All right. Now, there are a few dances like this. Salsa is also linear. Waltz can be a little bit of box. But the idea to keep this in mind is if you don't have a perfect line, possibly the lines on the patio or the carpet lines, but really just orienting, like most rooms are square. So as long as you're not in a geodesic dome, you should get this down. But if you're aimed, at the two walls, by the time you're done with a turn, you should both be aimed at opposite walls. All right. And what's going to be happening in these turns, the reason for the diagram, is that sometimes the wrong way to do it is like you've got your two dancers, and one of them basically just grabs the other and swings them all the way around. All right. And it makes it really hard for the person making this full motion, whether you're the person doing it or being thrown through it or whatever. The other thing that will happen is the guy will run frantically around her while she stands there, and it makes it harder for her to turn because our turns should have some footwork in it. So she has to do it perfectly in place, and then the guy never finishes the turn in time because he's running frantically around her. So what we really want is both of us take a slightly banana curve shaped path around kind of the center point. All right. So on that, a lot of times I will have dancers practice with like a water bottle on the floor or a stool or something, and they try to do their turn around it. And the idea is you should stay really close to it. And the smaller you can shrink your turn down, the better that's going to work out for everybody. So we'll demonstrate that, but I wanted to get that concept across the little image there. All right. So we'll actually do this apart across from each other. The steps, and we'll break the footwork down as well, but for me to turn her, rock, step, turn, turn, rock, step, side, side, rock, step, turn, turn, rock, step, side, side, rock, step, side, side, rock, step. All right. So to begin with, we are switching. We were lined up with the camera, and when we're done, we have switched places. So again, sideways would be rock, step, side, side, rock, step, side, side, rock, step, side, side. All right, so the details on this, what we're going to be doing with our hands. Guys, for us, since we're the ones leading, our right hand comes up, and our left hand kind of pulls her hand through this window across our belly button. It kind of pulls her back past us. All right, so as we rock, step, I've opened up this window. That's what she's going to be able to walk through. So I'm picking up my right hand, and I'm pushing her through that window with my other hand, and we rock, step apart, side, side, rock, step. Good. So let's try it slowly. We'll see how it goes for everybody. Right hand up. Yeah, guys, right hand up. Good. And then she goes under that bridge. Step, rock, step. Right hand high, left hand low. Rock, step, side. Ah, good. All right. Yeah, there. So that left hand, in this version of the turn, the left hand I'm letting go of. So as we rock, step, open, I'm letting go with this left hand to throw her hand through that. Yeah, and that lets me, there we go, perfect. Good. And then actually I did see on the poly cameras keeping both hands high, that is an option as well. That's very popular in swing dance. The main thing as a lead is just be sure that you've decided which one you want to do and that you're doing that one. Yeah, so it should, if you're wanting to let go and she holds onto your hand, you got to figure out why that's happening. But if you make the decision like, hey, this is the turn we're doing, and you switch and you finish. All right. So if you can either scroll over if you're on the phone to the footwork camera or just see that window, I will try to break down the two pieces. Let's see, yeah, it's almost harder without the lines. All right. So if we are here, let's see, yeah. So rock, step. I've already made it clear that I'm going to do the turn with her. And the only difference from a normal rock, step, is that I'm coming forward a little bit into the turn already. By the end of your rock step, you have to know your next 3 steps are going to be a turn. You can't decide halfway through the turn that you want to do a turn. So rock, step, and then I open up around her. I hook behind my own foot, and I come apart for a rock step, and then we're back on that normal pattern. So I will try to do that just for the guys, and let's see if I can line up, yeah, with that footwork camera here. So if I'm here, rock, step, I've got that window open. I open up into a triangle, and she's passing under my arm here. I hook my foot back around, and then I should be back on that line. All right. So I'll line up with you and with the camera once more, but it should be rock, step, open in a triangle, around with a hook, rock, step. Good. All right. Good. And then ladies' footwork. Yeah. So ladies' footwork is going to be rock, step, and you're turning to the inside. Your back is basically to the guy right now. And then you're back into a rock step here. So the only real difference is you're turning out away from the guy. So while he is open in this triangle and you're coming through here, his chest is to her back is to his chest. She doesn't have a hook at the end here because she goes right, left, right, left. So again, that lady's footwork here, you should think rock, step, 1, 2, rock, step. Good. All right. Yeah, so let's try it together. I'll watch a couple turns. Rock, step, side, 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 rock, step. Very nice. All right. And good. All right. So a couple of things watching. It actually looks really excellent. And of course, like it's a little hard to see exact footwork, but also this is like social swing dancing for fun. So as long as you're not tripping and you have about the right number of feet, foot counts, like if you have 2 feet, that's good too. But if you have the right number of feet roughly, or the right number of steps and the right timing, you're gonna be in great shape. So the idea though is that if you're following that kind of double arc around each other, you're gonna be doing a lot better than 90% of couples out there. Again, all the time when we start, I always see either the guy is like whipping her around and trying to finish that in one turn, which of course she has like 12 steps and he has none and it looks terrible. But if you can, use each other's body weight to turn around each other, you're doing a lot better already. What was the, so the other thing that's happening, especially crochet for you guys, but is very common for everybody, is just as you start turning, you end up with more and more distance. And pretty soon, it doesn't feel like you're super far apart, but from my point of view, I can see that your hands are almost completely extended. If you think about switching places here, I now have like 6 feet to walk to be on the opposite side of her. Whereas if we stay close, even though it's only a little bit like, an arm angle difference, this cuts the amount of space I have to cover down a huge amount. The closer you stay during all these turns, the faster you're going to be able to stick together, right? So if we're dancing, especially a faster song, and we need to be able to turn, you're going to have these really tight turns here, and the whole time we're basically brushing each other. What you want to avoid is these turns where you end up, like this, right? And it's almost impossible then to you end up, and we've done it before where, Alicia goes spinning across the floor because I let go at the wrong time, and I'm like, come back. So we want to avoid that. But that is your inside turn, basically, outside turn, sorry, because you're taking that hand that you're leading with to the outside and she's coming out and away from you. On that though, it works the same way with the other footwork, but instead of a hook, the guy then has kind of that open footwork. So I don't want to do the left turn immediately, but for now we have that apart, spin, spin, rock, step. All right. So 2 other versions of this using the exact same footwork. The neat thing about most social dances really, but swing dance definitely, is as you learn one move, then there's a whole bunch of variations that the footwork doesn't change at all, the tempo doesn't change at all, but you get like 6 more moves that you can use all at once. So a couple versions of that is just going to be the double waist lead. So I'm just taking both her hands, exact same footwork, but this time, so rock, step, side, side, rock, step, side, side, rock, step, side, side. Exact same footwork, exact same motions. All that's different is that I'm keeping both hands, and instead of the window and throwing this hand, I basically throw both hands along that same line. And ladies, this is where you'll have to communicate with each other, but you should feel like it's very easy for you to follow that path because he's guiding you on that path. If you feel like, I know I have to make, this little half curved banana shape, and instead he's throwing me completely to the side and I have to come back to the correct shape, let him know that, because most guys won't know that they're not leading great if there's no communication there, right? So on this, as you turn, you've got your double low hand, step, step, rock, step, side. You also have that double high hand, which Paula, you already did. And as you saw, you do end up with crisscrossed hands, and the easiest way, just let go and come right back to your normal grip there, all right? Hello. Yeah, you can get outside. Excellent. We're complicating things for house life here with everybody, so. Since we've taken over a bit of the dance studio, living room, kitchen area. All right, so, and our dog is defending us as well, good. So, if you're here, your 2 new leads, you've got your one hand high, one hand low. You've got both hands step, side, side, rock, step, triangle, hook, step, apart, side, side, rock, step, and 2 hands high, rock, step, side, side, rock, step, over, hook, rock, step, side, side, rock, step. All right. All of those, if you watch the footwork, it's the exact same. Your momentum is the same. The motion of your body should be the same as well. So I'm going to put on a slightly slower song and see what we can do. Oh yeah, and let's do a question session. I'll switch cameras real quick. But come on up. Oh, that's the wrong button. There we go. Perfect. So come on up, unmute yourselves. If anybody has questions, I'm happy to answer them. See what we can do. Thoughts, concerns, anything so far? All right.
I think we're all good, man. Thanks.
That's amazing. You guys are easier to teach than a group in person. All right, and you're doing it, which is great. All right. So let's do a practice song then. We'll work through a couple of these. Guys, for you, couple pointers. One, put in some rock steps in between. Even if you are like really close to mastering all the moves already, all 3 versions of the turn, but try to put some rock steps in just to double check that tempo, get a good resting spot. And the other thing on there, or a couple things, if you get completely off, just take a break and then start on the next rock step time. You can be on different tempos or different beats on a swing song, and you're still correct. And then what was the other one? Oh, and then guys, as much as possible, if you want it to be mentally challenging, but not to a point where you're not leading well anymore. So if it's challenging to do the same turn 3 times in a row and then try the next one, do that. If it's challenging to do like high, double low, 1 high, 1 low, and just keep alternating. But the idea is it shouldn't be a surprise to you because you're the lead. So you don't want to oh, I guess that's what we're doing. Instead, you want to this is the motion that I've chosen. All right. Hey, share screen advance, share. Find a good one here. Yeah, slightly slower one. We'll see where this tempo is at. Side, rock, step, side. I go a little slower. Yeah, that's nice. All right.
Spin your body around. Now
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I am going sleepless in your out of lullaby. Honey, honey,
Rock, step, side, side, rock,
won't
step,
stop
side.
holding my head down. Baby, 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 you never let me. You've got a dark heart. You've got a cold kiss. You are my love, my love. Everybody's breaking every time you start shaking. Don't come calling my name. Everybody's falling every time you come a calling. I want you to know, honey, honey, you are the first one, darling, darling, around my door. Honey, honey, you'll never let me. You've got a dark heart. You've got a cold kiss. You've got a dark heart. You've got a cold kiss. You are my love, always turning back to you till you never let me down. Loving your illusion, staring at a crooked ground.
sharing system. Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, Mika's back in the shot. All right. So very nice, very nice. I'm impressed. Yeah, that's excellent. I also, it's interesting to me to be able to see, like, even without footwork, to see, I mean, the similar things that have come up where it's like, oh, I know, that problem from 400 other people that I've seen similar things on. So some of the beginning, I don't know, the beginning trends to address. Crochet especially, you guys, I can see your arms are floppy. I know if I danced with you, you would both be like wet, noodly arms to push around. So for you two, and for everybody, but especially you two, that framework exercise of her with her eyes closed and leading and following across the floor without your arm shape changing shapes or size. That same idea, as we turn, there's very little, oh, she did that with her eyes closed too, nice. But with that, there's very little change in shape in the arms there. Near the end too, you guys, just as Paul was doing earlier, but you had like chipmunk arms up high. Yeah, it's like not a turn, just like chilling out here dancing, which makes it much harder to push as well. If you have that good frame, one thing to pay attention to, if your elbows are tucked in, you've lost most of your frame, you don't have a good shape anymore. So that elbow, especially salsa class, one thing I always teach is guys think about like a fist under your arm, about halfway up your bicep, and ladies think of like a line. But the idea is from the front, which is one view I haven't had much, if your elbows are tucked in, that's gonna be really bad for like turns, anything, you're gonna twist all these joints. If my arm is out, then as I get pushed or pulled, I have this nice shape to make turns from. Same thing if my elbow's tucked in and it comes up, there's no way to turn me from here, right? Like a pressure on my arm is just twisting my arm. If I have this nice frame here, again, I can get pushed. All right, something else that showed up, Paula's man, since I don't remember your name. Hello, so what was going on there, I will have to get names again from everybody, but what's going on there is this is kind of what I said, right? You get ahead of the tempo on the turn, and then you get thrown off. So what's happening for you, and also cool, like brush the back move is a pretty excellent. So rock step, 1, 2, you're not leaving enough of a pause right on that 2 before rock step. And so what's happening for you is rock step, 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 rock step, but you're already stepped down in your rock step. So you want to give yourself a little bit more of a pause here. So it'd be rock step, 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 rock step, and give yourself that extra pause. But that's something I saw pretty consistently as you were on tempo the whole time. And then after one of those moves, you'd get a half step off and then kind of readjust to it. But that can help as well. All right, guys, perfect. Last few minutes, we'll do our last practice song, but one motion that I didn't see much of, but that we did cover today. The exact same correct framework. So we've got the ladies doing turns and it looks great and you're actually switching places using our little banana rotation around each other. But guys, both of you, I believe I saw, but at least one, when you did your own turn, this is basically, so we've got a nice lady turn, right? Rock step, side, side, you switch places beautifully, everything looks great. And then the guy kind of does this and it's just like, we made it, right? So the footwork is gonna be the exact same if you go under her right arm. Like you lift up with your left arm and go under that side, it's gonna be the exact same footwork as the turn we've been doing with her. So that same idea of rock, step, open triangle, hook step, rock step. If I turn under her right arm, the footwork's the same. The difference is as I come through and do it, now it's my back to her instead of my chest to her back, all right? So as I do that, again, should just switch places exactly with her, and it'll be rock, step, side, open, triangle right there, all right? So that same tempo, rock, step, 1, 2, rock, step, 1, 2, rock, step, 2. That was the other arm. Still went pretty well. Okay.
And as far as the follow goes, you still want to walk in a straight line. If he's trying to turn you, don't automatically think you got to start turning. I know that from experience.
Oh, yeah. Part of that will be, guys, you have to help her by not giving her a big like spin indication, but it will take a little bit of time to balance that out. Yeah, like as ladies get used to what the leads are, they can follow better. But guys, if you're doing a good job leading, it should be really natural for her to do the right thing and really difficult to do something other than what you're trying to lead. And that's kind of one of those tricks of leading.
So, Jesse, question.
Yeah.
You had mentioned the difference, right? So when I'm ready to turn, my hand goes up, but when I'm turning her, the hand is down, I think. What's the lead signal there? Because I've missed that.
Yeah, so we'll come up to this camera here so you can see the hand a little bit. But yeah, to get into like slightly more advanced leading in the last couple of minutes here, and we can go over more on Friday as well. But it's really the shape of her whole torso. And so just because I point out does not tell her clearly which side we're even turning to, or which side I'm turning to. She still doesn't know if I'm turning, which side of her, because I can also walk to the front of her that way. So a lot of it's really about the shape of her torso, and that's why we lead with that other hand. So as I come up, this is a good indication it's going to be a turn for her, because my fingers are pointing down. I'm in this nice turn. I'm up high enough that it doesn't make any sense. Like, she's obviously not going to be jumping over the arm. I'm not dropping it, right? So this is already a lot of indications that she's going to be turning, but she doesn't quite know which direction yet. And some of that comes from right on that rock step. Her torso is already angled this direction to take that kind of like curving shape around me. And she, walking naturally, will come forward this direction. What doesn't work is I do see people, I do this. Right now, she's getting two different leads and neither one is telling her where to go. This hand says maybe this direction, this hand says turn backwards. And so we kind of just like smash faces and then fall apart, right? So we do want to actually steer her entire body around. And this is another reason that her frame is important. Every follows frame and leads frame is important. But with her frame, I can very easily turn her entire body at a slight angle, either direction, and that makes it really clear to her, like, hey, you're going to walk around this way. For me turning, similar again, I'm pointing up, and that says, hey, I'm about to turn, but you can see her body is already angled off this way around me. And so again, we'll back up so we don't run into all this stuff. But on here, when it goes rock, step, her frame or her body is doing pretty much the same thing as when she's turning, direction-wise, but I have my hand up, I'm pointing up, and that says, hey, I'm going to turn here, and then I'm able to get around her. Another thing that you may have kind of seen there is as we separate, rock, step, if she still has a good frame here with a little bend, then I'm able to push on that arm and it turns her whole body. If she's got a floppy arm here, unfortunately what happens is, her arm just twists behind her. And I've seen that at Mercury Cafe, like you always have high schoolers learning to dance there, and they have very rubbery joints and no awareness of what they're doing. And so all the time you'll see somebody's shoulder get like twisted behind them, and that's not how we want to dance either. So. All right, okay. We'll do one more practice song. Class is technically over, so if you have to run, I'll understand, but I'll play a song through here and we can jam a little, and I'll answer any last questions afterwards as well.
Now, the funk soul, bruv. Way down upon the swamp, far, far
I think it'll get into swing music here soon. Nope, somebody snuck some kind of tango in here. That's very fast. Find a good one here. Oh yeah, that's a nice simple thing. All right. 1, 4, 5, 6, 8,
Holding you
5,
down.
7.
You look for me, but I won't be found. The bluebirds flutter in my chest. Oh, they want to sing. You'll have to break me open
Okay. Yeah, before we sign off for Wednesday night, any last thoughts? How is that going? Oops.
So is this recorded or no?
Yeah, this one's recorded. I'm realizing, so for work, I have some other screen capture software, and I might try to record like everybody, because what I was finding last time is the recording is basically just the speaker box. So like a lot of times it's just this voice, or you know, when you ask a question, it'll record you for a couple seconds on it. And that's just something built into Zoom that I haven't quite found a way around. So I may capture like the entire group class as well, so that you guys can see yourself dance. But you do have the advantage of being able to record yourselves and watch back if you want to.
We can't record. I don't think we can record.
Oh, not through Zoom, but I mean, you know, at home if you want to record and see.
You can set up like a phone and record and watch yourself.
Yeah, something like that.
Can we record ourselves and send you a video of us, and you could like maybe critique it or something? Yeah. Are you okay with something like that?
Yeah. I mean, that's I originally, like, I love dance and I love teaching dance, and we're also, I mean, given everything here, and then even before quarantine and Corona, we were trying to build up like the online class presence as well. And so I was working with Denver Dance Authority to do that. So this is a new and unique opportunity to try to do that. So yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to see that. Like, I've already been surprised even in the little boxes without like feet and everything, being able to see pretty well some of the, you know, things that can be addressed. Yeah, so recording, I also, again, I'll send out some YouTube videos that I already had up that have some of this instruction in it as well. Yeah, and send out an email with that for everybody. And I did email out Monday's class as well earlier today. If you guys did not get that, let me know, and maybe I don't have the right email or something.
No, the sound was much better than it worked great.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, we went from an iPad to like very expensive recording equipment I have from work. So it's all at home anyways. And I was like, you know, I already have some high-end AV equipment. I might as well teach dance class with it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was great. The video was great and the audio was perfect. So, you know, much better than me.
Yeah, I'm glad it's working this time. Yeah, working together. Excellent. Well, I will send everything out. Thank you guys again for coming. This has been a fun way to have a dance class, even with not quite a dance class.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did we lose one of our members?
No, Nancy did email. They had some kind of something at home that they had to skip this one. And then at least on my side, it shows that we have one more as well. It's just muted, but we do have a couple of other people that signed up. So.
Okay. It's fun being your guinea pigs. We're having fun date nights.
Perfect. Excellent. All right. Have a good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
You too.
Bye.